So here's the finished product. If I come here to my website, you'll notice that I have an audio file here. And if I come up here to preview, I can come down here and demonstrate to you that this audio file plays. And here it is. All right, so that's it. And then I can exit preview with this X here. So here's how we do this. First thing you're going to want to do is either create a folder on your desktop, or you can create it from Audacity when you set it up. I'm going to create the folder just so you know how to do it. So if I do Windows and D, that clears my desktop. I'm going to right click and I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm going to, right click, choose new, and then folder. And I'm going to call this audio files. Okay, folder is now empty. Next thing I'm going to do is come to Audacity and open it up. If I left click on the Windows icon, you'll notice that Audacity shows up here. I could also do a search for Audacity by typing it in here. And that's how it's spelled, Audacity. Open it up. Once it opens, I'm going to use my headset, which is what I have. You could use your onboard mic as for yours, but I'm going to use a headset. And I'm simply going to come up to the top, and I'm going to left click on record. This is me recording an audio, and I'm going to hit stop. If you pause it, it simply stops right here, and you have to pause it again. And so that's my audio right here. Now maybe I just want this part, or maybe I want the whole thing. If I would like the entire thing, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to choose File, Export, and just choose Export as an MP3. If I want to do part of it, like this much, I can jump like this. So what I did was left click and dragged across this way. So it was a left click and drag. Actually, it's a left and hold, I should say. And then I came up to File, and I'm going to choose Export. And this time, instead of MP3, I'm going to come down to Export Selected Audio. So the default is going to be a wave on my device. So I'm going to change it to MP3. So I just clicked here, toggled, and chose MP3. And I'm going to call this News Audio number 2 because it's week 2. And I'm going to hit Save. So I just did that selected area. Type in your name if you like to have all this information in here. I usually do name and then a title. So I might call it week 2. And then I could put a date for the year, and I'll put today's date, which would be like 08/27/21. And then I'll left click and choose OK. So that saves it, but I want to actually save it in my folder that I just created. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to choose Export Selected Audio. And here I want to choose my folder. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to locate the folder I actually created, which is called Audio Files. And then I want to save it in here. And you'll see the information there, and I'll click OK. Now you can also create a folder while you're doing this. So if you didn't want to do the desktop folder right away, or you forgot, you could come here, and when you do File and Export, you could do this, and from here you could actually pick a new folder by hitting this sunburst here, just as long as you're on your desktop. You could do that, and then you could make a new folder from here, and then open it up and save it. Anyway, since I've already saved it, next I need to get this onto Google. Each week you would just be doing a new file, but for the very first time we're going to upload a folder. So I'm going to come back to my drive, and I'm going to come over here where it says New. And I'm going to left click on this plus, and I'm going to, for the very first time, I'm going to do a folder upload, since that's what I created. And on my desktop, I'm going to come back to my desktop. Here's my desktop, and I'm going to choose the folder, which is Audio Files. And I'm going to open it up by clicking Upload, and that's going to upload this folder and the audio file that's inside it. So that's what it did. All right, so one of the things I forgot to mention that you should do is check your audio file to make sure it actually plays. So I'm going to left click, here's the file, and this is the audio check, and it does play, so we're good there. All right, and it is an MP3. So next I'm going to go back to Google, and I want to do a quick check for the folder. So you can do a search up here and type in the word audio, and I might want to add audio file just to see if it shows up. And there it is right there. There's my folder that I uploaded, and there's the file that says week 2. So that's there. I return to my sites, and I'm going to come over here and left click under insert. I'm going to come under embed, and I need to select this URL. But I also need to do something else. I want to make sure that anybody who clicks on this can actually play it. So when I go back to my site, all right, so do a search for my folder. All right, so there's my folder. I'm going to right click on this folder, and I'm going to click the share. And from here, I'm going to change it from K-12 restricted to anybody with a link. So I'm going to left click here and choose anyone with the link. Now, any file that's inside of this folder will be shared automatically, which is why I'm doing this. So next, I'm going to go back to my inside of my folder, and I want to get this link. So I'm going to hit this button right here, which is the Get Link button. And you'll notice it says copy, and it says anyone with the link can view, which is what I want. And I'll go to my website. I'll left click on embed, and you'll notice I'm going to do embed by URL. And so right here, I will paste what I just copied, let it upload, and then I'm going to hit insert. There's my audio file. I can resize this somewhat. Don't get too crazy. Just make it smaller. And then there's my file. And to save this, I'm just going to come over here and hit publish. And I'll hit publish again. And that publishes my website. All right, so now you'll see I have 2 audio files on here. And if I were to go preview it, you'll now notice that if I come down here to the second one, here it is. And there it is. There you are. And that's how you put an audio file on your website.